All right, what is going on, guys or ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Kieran Rodriguez, KRAD7435. We back at it once again. I wanted to make this video in reference to the Oklahoma City Thunder, the NBA playoffs update. I'm really upset because the Thunder, they did lose respectfully, because I actually wanted them to lose. Yeah, I'm sorry, Thunder fans. You guys lost. You guys got your asses whooped, and I should have took footage, and I should have laughed at you, because, Thunder fans should be mad, because, I honestly believe that the Thunder's front desk, or the front office, they didn't care enough for the players, and the players have been doing a really piss poor job on trying to get their morality and playing good defense and actually being a good asset to the team. I really do feel like that, with the Thunder, they could use a bit more work down low, because Steven Adams, he's a great player, but, the Thunder, they really fucked up. They didn't see themselves as a team, and they failed miserably because, they should have thought a bit more about, what they wanted to do as a team to work together. And, look at where they are. It's kind of really devastating. Like, Russell Westbrook, how many points did he really average this season? Like, I haven't been keeping up, and I'm sorry that I haven't been coming back with the videos. I thought I was going to have a great time with this. I thought I was going to give you guys what you guys wanted. And, for me, I've been busy because, college has always been the most boring thing, and don't ever go to college, please. For anybody that is thinking about going to college, don't go to school. Going to school is a socialist idea. It does not help out the young. It actually fucks over the young, and pretty much young people don't have the opportunity to what they want to do, because it's going to be difficult coming up. So I'd say, why not you make something of your own, because you don't have loans to pay, and you build up your own money, and then you start making your own business, at a small level for yourself, and then, become more entrepreneurial in that manner. But let's talk basketball, not business. Basically, the Thunder, they shot, throughout the whole playoffs, they actually shot, 30 to 40% from, the three-point line. So that's not really good, in my honest opinion, because I feel like that Paul George, he's a very good player, but him and Carmelo Anthony and Westbrook, I believe that they did a very shitty job, by performing three-pointers. And if I were to, do this lineup in 2K17, we would understand, the lineup a lot better, because we know how good these players are, but yet they're so terrible that you can't think of a good season with them. I mean, Paul George said he wanted to go to OKC to see if he could win a ring, and you got your ass beat by a fucking, scrub named Donovan Mitchell. And I'm sorry for any Utah fans that want to come at me, but Donovan Mitchell, in my honest eyes, I don't think he's a good player. I think I'm going to just call him another Giannis Antetokounmpo, because that's where I see him going. And, I mean, if he could bang more threes in the playoffs, and he could disprove to me how he could do better in this playoff series, or more so, I'd probably go with next year, because next year I'm probably going to get a different view on him. Yeah, then I would definitely support him. But, like with any other player, you have to earn my, for me, you have to earn my respect. And I believe that for the NBA, they need to start, understanding what the fans want. Because when you don't give what the fans want, you're actually just making it more difficult for people to live lives to see a good basketball game. And I think that's the problem with our, society, that basketball and all these great sports that we could call a sport have been downgraded, and we're seeing good players getting destroyed by underdog people. And I just don't like that. For me, I think it's really, disgusting that you have to see a guy like Westbrook get beat down by a, rookie or undrafted player. It seemed like Donovan Mitchell came into the league through undrafted process, so I don't really see him doing as much progression that we want to see out of, what we, saw out of Westbrook in his coming days. But no, it's just Donovan Mitchell, he kind of did what, Westbrook tried to do to everybody's attention when he was coming up as a rookie. But, once him and Kevin Durant built that relationship, bam, they were like one of the best teams ever. But no, for this team, this is a team that was poorly structured. I feel like that, they didn't really get along. They actually had a tough time getting along from what I was hearing from, multiple articles of how the Thunder really, did not have a good time understanding each other in practice. And I don't know if people have noticed, but even during practice, Russell Westbrook, he had been concerned about, the team's ball movement, where actually, if you've seen it within the playoffs, the ball movement was so terrible that the Thunder couldn't really play that well, and they just did very terrible. And most of them did terrible because if you really take a look at it, the Thunder, they actually had such a horrible system that, they couldn't even get the ball, initiated for a good final shot, and they would just even screw it up for the last play because they had so many great opportunities to score. So, to me, what does this mean for the Thunder? Can we really see something out of OKC next year? I personally think Russell Westbrook, it's time for him to get traded. I honestly believe he should probably go to my team, the Chicago Bulls, for any haters out there. But I say it with good purpose because the Chicago Bulls really need to come back, and I believe that with Westbrook, he could have a better opportunity in seeing, superstars come together with a team that needs a true point guard. And, I mean, if you guys want to be pragmatic with me, about what team that Russell Westbrook should really go to, I don't know. That's really questionable. Should he go maybe to the Rockets? Maybe trade CP3 and then have him and James Harden, team up? That would be a really good mix. Or he could go to, I don't know. If we said Boston, would that be a good fit? I don't think that would be a good fit because, we're already seeing Kyrie Irving take over. I think, I don't know. Should we see Westbrook go to either the Clippers, the Rockets, or maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because I believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers would be a very good fit for Westbrook, LeBron, Kevin Love. That, to me, I think that would be a very good fit. Let me know what you guys think about it because I personally believe, that's a very tough, situation because Westbrook, he has such a great, basketball IQ, but his passing ability sucks. And, well, no, his passing ability, it's alright, but he needs to, know where his men are spreading out throughout the court. And I believe that Westbrook, he could become a good player because he has the legendary capacity. So for Westbrook to win this ring, to overcome, the Warriors and all these other super teams, he needs to start finding teammates that actually care about his game. Because I feel like with Melo and George, don't get me wrong, George was always a better teammate with Westbrook, but I think Melo fucked it up. Because Melo, he should have came off of the bench. They kept starting Melo almost every single game, and that made it way more difficult for Westbrook and George to, basically create good basketball plays for the team to win. And they just, started to crumble. You could see it in their offense. Their offense was terrible. They didn't have too much of a, I guess, impact to make the team feel better. And a lot of people really did suffer from a lot of just poor, miscommunication. And it really resulted in just multiple conflicts. Like I said about my last video that talked about Durant and Deion Waiters, I feel like that's the same thing with Carmelo and, Westbrook, because these guys really tried doing what they wanted to do, but, they could not get the job done, and it made everything more difficult. I honestly believe that for these men to actually do what they wanted to do, they had to find that, teamwork amongst each other. And, I'm sorry, but they could not create, good teamwork and camaraderie to become a super team like we wanted it to be. So for the wake of seeing basketball thrive between these players, we're now seeing such a downfall with how they act and how they, come through amongst each other, because now they're just losing trust amongst each other. And I think with Westbrook and, Melo, they definitely did not have like a good, relationship, because I believe that Westbrook and Melo, they didn't really like each other like that. It made me think that they had really difficult times getting like along, and the team chemistry was really low. And I hope next year Westbrook, he could possibly stay in OKC, and maybe probably wait for like another good draft pick to come in, or try to have a good veteran squad come in, maybe DeMar DeRozan and Westbrook, and probably get Tristan Thompson in there. I think Tristan Thompson would do pretty good in OKC, but you know what? I think it's time for Westbrook to get traded, because I think Westbrook and LeBron would actually be a very good mix-up, because LeBron still does not have a strong point guard position, so I think Westbrook would do a fantastic job in that field, and him and LeBron could actually work pretty well, because like we've seen in the All-Star games, along with pretty much when Westbrook was playing with LeBron in the Olympics, they played very well. So Westbrook, he knows how to win. It's just that his teammates have always failed him. So I feel like for for the sake of his career, of trying to get a few rings and calling it a good season, or more so a good run, Westbrook, he needs to find that teamwork amongst his his teammates that care about him, like they once did when he was trying to go for his MVP year. But he could have done better. He had so many difficulties, playing with teammates that had too much power, and they wanted that power. So when you have too many superstars wanting to take a chief position, that's what's going to lead into that failure, because now those teammates don't have too much of a connection with each other, and it's now turning into failure within the basketball chemistry, the business, and more people are starting to lose support into their team. So the cultural and basketball aspect will die out, and more people will fail to see the true future of what they want out of their team. So I'd say this for the end. The Thunder really do need to wake up. They do need to get some better players. I believe that some good young veteran talent could really do it, but they need to have enough money to pay off Westbrook in a good contract. And remind you, Westbrook's contract is probably going to come up pretty soon. So I think that it's best for Westbrook to find that future amongst his teammates, and find that trust amongst his own people that he wants to be with forever, so he could find the future that he wants to keep. So that's pretty much what I have to say. I'll see you guys up in the next one, and peace out. Bye.